Cracky. Cracky.
Your smile, now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Bring that beat back.
All right, if you're with us online, go and set up your space, get your equipment ready. We're about to start class here in the next 30 seconds or so. So we'll see you here soon. All right, welcome back to Pump. Wherever you're set up, if you find you have a lot of space in up here close together, kind of even that out between you all so you can get your spaces a little bit more even between each other. Thanks for being here. If this is your first classroom with us online or in person, when you come in, if you're online, underneath the video you're watching right now, you'll see the description of the class, all the equipment you'll need as well as the movements. If you're here in person, every time you come in, I'll have the equipment you need in the top right corner of the board over here, okay? As well as all the movements that we're doing today. And I'll go over them each class, so no stress if you don't know what they are, same as at home. And if you're at home and you don't have the equipment that you need for the day, that's okay. I'll give you some modifiers of what you can do differently. For this class, we'll have a 6-minute warm-up, kind of get going. At the end, we'll have a 10-minute stretch cool-down routine. And the workout for this class is we have 4 rounds total that we do, okay? Each round is going to consist of 2 movements that we'll superset 4 times. How that works is, say round 1, we'll do movement 1 for 30 seconds, move right into movement 2 for 30 seconds. That's 1 set, okay? And we'll repeat that 4 times. We'll do 4 sets. Then you'll get 1 minute rest, and we'll move on to round 2, okay? So for the movements that we have today, I tell everybody to make more space, and then I'm just taking up all this space. Let's get over. So first class is a little bit different than all the other classes. We'll do a little bit of bracing education today, okay? That'll take like 4-ish minutes, which is about how long a round is roughly. So we only do 3 rounds in the first class, so kind of a nice little perk. You only have to do 3 instead of 4. So with bracing, the big thing we want to talk about bracing before we kind of jump into this 6-week session is 1, we're super effective at being lazy. And what I mean by that, our bodies are good at saving energy. So if we're not intentional, when we're standing, a lot of times you'll see hyperextended knees, hips pop forward, shoulders kind of drop down. You're kind of resting on your joints if you're not intentional. I'm overly exaggerating kind of what that looks like, but you'll kind of be in that period or that stance where your joints are just taking a lot of that impact, okay? So when we think of bracing, we want to take the strain off those joints, hold ourselves well so the muscles actually being activated while we're standing. Becomes super important once we start to, 1, add more weight to movements, or we start getting plyometric and we're adding a lot more stress and impact to the body, okay? So we're going to go through a quick bracing routine. So go and take a normal stance, whatever your just normal stance is, doesn't really matter. And what we're going to do first is squeeze your glutes and then release them. And then squeeze them. When you squeeze them, try to feel that hip shift. There's a small little bit of a hip shift. Your hands are on your hips and you squeeze them. Usually, when you're relaxed, your hips will be tilted a little bit forward. So if you think of it as a bowl holding water with your hips, they'd be tilted forward, water's kind of pouring out the front a little bit, okay? When we squeeze those glutes, we're lifting up the front of that pelvis, kind of leveling out so we're not spilling that water, okay? So squeeze those glutes. Next step, think of lifting your bladder, pelvic floor up and into your stomach, okay? Really think of that lift. You'll feel that slight pull-in right above your belt line, kind of in that low tummy here, okay? Once you have that lifted up and in, think of tightening that core, almost like visually tightening a corset. So squeezing, holding that whole core and that lift together, pulling those shoulder blades back and down, okay? And from here, as long as you're holding all of those brace positions, you can kind of release that glute squeeze and take a couple steps with that braced posture, okay? And now go and relax it all. You'll feel there's like a, I'm braced, I'm exaggerating again, and then like a, I'm not braced. You feel that slump, that drop that happens when you're not in that braced position. As you get tired, be sure to stay braced, right? When we get tired, that's when we start to forget about that thing, and really we're just thinking about, oh my God, I'm going to die, I can't breathe. Really be intentional, remember that brace, okay? Because that's when we'll break down, and we don't want all that strain and impact going into that joint, right? We want to load the muscles, develop the muscles, get stronger, and have more endurance with those muscles. So we're going to do it one more time, just to kind of get a second practice. So what's the first step? That's right, squeeze the glutes. Second step. Pelvic floor, bladder up and in, nice. Third step. Tightening that core. Next step. Yep. Shoulder blades back and down. I respect it. All right, so then once you're holding that, you can release those glutes. I'm going to be bringing it up all the time. I'm going to bring it up. Are you braced? Make sure you're braced, okay, through the class. And if you are, I probably am not singling you out. It's everybody. Or I could be. You never know. So make sure you're doing it. All right, so movements that we have today for the workout. We are running over the bracing education. First movement we have Australian chin-up and pull-up. So this is where we're going to use the equalizer, okay? So we'll go through this one together since it's the first start class. We're going to come underneath of our equalizer, okay? Where you want this set up is directly above your chest, okay? You have 2 options here. You can do a pull-up or a chin-up. What I mean by that, if you're doing a pull-up and you want to work more of that upper back, hands are going over the top, okay? And your elbows are going to stay on the top side of the bar. They're not going to come underneath. From here, of course, we're braced, right? We haven't lost that yet since we learned about it. we're going to lift the hips up. Hips are going to be in there, squeeze the glutes. And from here, we're going to pull from the back, okay? Our back is what's lifting this up. So think of pulling more from the elbows and lift that chest up to that bar, control it back down. If you can't make it to the bar, that's okay. It's not about getting all the way up. One thing we want to think about with this, and it's not how many reps we can get, right? We want to make sure we're having 100% quality. If we get 2, if we get 20, it doesn't matter. Make them good. For the chin up, hands are on the underside, okay? Elbows are staying underneath. Lift those hips, squeeze those glutes, and we're going to pull from those elbows, okay? Using that back, pull that chest up to that bar, and then lower ourselves back down. So that is Australian chin up and or pull up. You can choose on each one which you want to do. If you want more of that upper back work, those rear delts, hands over the top. If you want more of that low lat, a little bit mid back, hands underneath, okay, for that chin up. If you're at home, I'm going to have you doing T squeezes here. So be in that bent over position, thumbs up, scapula backing down, squeeze those scapula together, bring that back down. You can do weighted or unweighted, totally up to you. Next one we got today is, I don't know why I stood up, leg hold scissor kick. So when we're down in that position, I'm going to make you all get down again. I should have looked at the board before I made us all get up. So anytime we're doing this core work, the biggest thing, you'll probably feel right now there's a little bit of gap, a little bit of space between your low back and the floor. Press that low back into the floor, okay? You can almost feel your core activate just with that movement. You can release the low back and then press it down to the floor, and you feel that core tighten. What we're going to do is we're going to have the feet up with that low back, press down. You're just going to drop your legs as far as you can to where that low back isn't coming up off the floor, okay? It doesn't matter how far that is. That's the position you're going to try to hold today, and then you're going to scissor kick, okay? So wherever that point is, okay, if you go down far enough that that low back comes up off the ground, that's too far. Bring it back up. In this class, there's not a lot of breaks, so if you need a break, go and just chill for a minute. Take your own rest period, go get a drink, or just kind of chill for a minute. You don't need to keep going the whole time. Next one we got is curl press extend. This is with the dumbbells, okay? So, still braced, right? Always. No one forgot. Loved it. So, we're in that brace position. We're doing a bicep curl, right into a shoulder press, right into a tricep extension, and then we're reversing that tricep extension, coming down out of that shoulder press, reversing that bicep curl, okay? Just moving through that tri-series right there. If you're at home, you're just going to do a manual bicep tricep. So you'll have one hand on hand, okay? And you can stick with just doing one side. That next set we come around, switch over to that opposite side, okay? Next one we got in this is going to be weighted alternating lunges. Whenever it says weight or plyometric, that's optional. Don't have to use weight if you don't want to, okay? Alternating lunges, we'll talk about this a lot in the warm-up. But again, braced, like we still are. We're going to lunge. You can lunge back or forward. If you ever have a lot of knee pain, lunge backwards, okay? Shifts that weight a little bit more into the heel, activates that glute a bit more. So when we go into that lunge, we're braced. That glute is on, whichever leg is in front, okay? That knee stays in line with that toe. Don't let that knee cave in, and don't let that arch collapse. Keep the bottom of that foot strong into the floor. Then we come back up, basically move into the opposite side. If you want weight, you can hold weight evenly on each side. You can hold weight on just one side if you want a little bit more core work, core control, or you could be overhead with weight, okay? Totally up to you if you're using that weight. Next one we got is going to be a superset of high knees into burpees. You get to choose your own ratio here. What I mean by that is we're going to keep it to 5 or less, but you could do 5 or less high knees right into 5 or less burpees, okay? So say you're like, I'm going to do 3 and 2. I'm doing high knees, keep them even. That was a terrible example. We'll go to, let's say, 4 and 2. So you're going to do 4 high knees right into 2 burpees, or we'll make the ratio 6, just so it's not an odd number. Or you can do 6 into however many burpees you want. But you control that ratio that you have, okay? High knees, just driving those knees up. You can turn them into marches if you want to get rid of that impact without that jump in there, okay? Burpees, you're just dropping down to the floor. One thing, actually, when we're in burpees, be nice to your knees. When we jump in, use some upper body muscular control, and don't just let all that impact go right into the knee and the feet when you jump in. So when you go down, jump back, you jump back in, land soft, keep that weight forward onto those hands. As you get tired and you want to shift it back, it's really easy to make all that impact go right into that joint, okay? So really control that burpee. You can also get rid of the jump in the burpee and step back, step forward. Next one we have with that one is going to be controlled rolls. Says level 2. If you haven't done them before, don't even worry about that. So controlled rolls. We'll do this one together as well, just because it's kind of a weird one. So we'll come down, seated onto the ground. So basically what a control roll is, there's multiple different layers. So the first one, we're going to let our feet stay on the ground. Biggest thing, pull that low back in, shoulder blades back and down, that chest is going to be up. We don't want to drop into that position, okay? So from here, we're going to do a smooth roll up onto the shoulders, control that roll back up to seated, okay? If you want to kind of advance that a bit, try not to let the feet touch the ground. So when you do your roll and you come up, you stop it, you control it, and then you go right back down into that roll, okay? Really making sure you're braced, that pelvic floor is lifted up and that core is strong in those rolls. The level 2 version is if you want a little bit more of a leg workout and you've done it before, you can do the second piece where you push yourself up out of it, go into a squat jump, and then basically you just go back down into that roll, okay? That portion is completely optional. You don't have to do that at all. If you are doing that and you're using your arms to help you get up, you don't have to. But if you are, make sure you're pressing evenly through those arms so you don't have one super sore buff right tricep and then the left one is just chilling over here, okay? Any questions before we get started? All right, yos, let's do it. Workout 1, almost a 12th of the way done through this whole session. Is that inspiring or is that just, yeah. All right, starting with those jumping jacks. Remember, stay braced, pelvic floor up and in, that core strong. We're not overly pushing yet. If you want to minimize that impact, you can be right here. Get rid of that jumping. We all know, we talked about, I got those weak ankles, you know. Got to start it off. Got to start it off all chill. Air squats. Pushing those hips back and down, knees in line with those toes. Keep those glutes on that whole time. Weights even on the feet. Nice job. Arches if the feet are strong, those glutes are on. Weights even on those feet. Don't let those heels come up off the ground. Don't let those toes come up off the ground. Marches. And drive that knee up. Thinking of trying to use that core, put a little bit of power into that knee drive. Stay braced. Lunges alternating. Whichever is that front leg, keeping that glute on. Think of control and balance here. We want no wobble. Weights even on that front leg. Stay braced. Arm circles. Full range of motion. When we're doing these, we don't want to twist the torso. Keep that torso squared. Reverse. Opposite direction. Inchworms into those push-ups. Don't round the low back here. We're going to bend those knees to walk out. You can do 1 and 1, or you can pick your own ratio here. Maybe you want to do 3 or 4 push-ups. We warm up those shoulders, elbows, and then hold that stretch a little bit longer. jumping jacks. All right, round 2 of the warm-up. We're picking up that tempo. Starting to get a little bit more effort here. Maybe closer to 60, 70% effort. Remember, stay braced. Don't lose that bracing. Air squats. So we're picking up that tempo, but we're still controlling that movement. We're not bouncing at the bottom. We're controlling that stop and back up. Keep those glutes on, knees in line with those toes. Weight even on the feet. Marches. Job. Lunges, alternating. You want a little bit of thoracic rotation, you can twist. Open that torso in the direction of that knee. That's in front. If you are, it's a slow, controlled twist. Staying braced. Keep that glute on. Knee in line with that toe. Arm circles. Full range of motion. Reverse. Inchworms into those push-ups. Don't round that low back, bend those knees. Still braced. Take a break. We got 1 minute and we're starting that workout. Who's over here being a hypocrite, taking up all this space? All right, 10 seconds. We're starting with those chin-ups or pull-ups. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Hips are high, glutes are on. If palms are over the top, elbows stay on that top side. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. Don't shrug those shoulders up to the ears. Think of pulling from those elbows. Use the back. Squeeze those scapula together. Don't let that torso bend on the way up. Keep it straight, strong. Nice job. Remember, it doesn't matter if you get 3 or 30. Make them good. Take a rest in between each one if you need. Switch, leg drops. Stay right where you are. Press that low back into the floor. Legs come up. Lower the legs as far as you can up until that point where that low back's gonna come up off the floor. Keep that bracing, pelvic floor up and in, that core is strong. Nice, y'all. Pull-ups, chin-ups. Your option here. Which one you're going for? If you're at home and you don't have an equalizer, you're doing those T-squeezes. Remember, pull from the back and not the arms. Squeeze those scapula together. Leg drops. Low back pressing the floor. Legs start up. Drop them as far as you can so you feel that low back's about to come up off the ground. Stay braced, pelvic floor up and in, that core is strong. Chin-ups, pull-ups. You can switch it up to the other one or keep it the same. Hips high, glutes on, and you're pulling that chest to the bar, okay? Not face to the bar. Make sure you're pulling evenly to the left and the right side. Leg drops. Low back pressing the floor, those legs are up. Control them down. Stay braced. Pelvic floor up and in, that core is strong, those shoulder blades are back and down. Chin up, pull up. This is our last set, let's go. Hips high, glutes on, chest to bar. Pay attention, what muscle's getting tired? Similar wavelengths going on. Leg drops. Low back pressing the floor, those legs are up. Control it down as far as you can. And with scissors. Which is a funny name you think about. This is not what scissors do at all. Scissors don't cross. I don't know why it's called that. Stay braced, low back into the floor. Take a break. Huh? Yeah. Or untwizzling a Twizzler. All right, you're not gonna need these again. If you wanna wipe them down and put them away, you can. You have 1 minute. Or you can stack them all up right here. There's a free spot if you want it out of your way. Next movement, that curl press extend in those alternating lunges. Feel free to grab 2 weights. You can have a heavier weight and a lighter weight. So if you start to fail out, you can just switch that weight. "15 seconds. And we're starting. Still braced? Everybody else still braced? All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Curl press extend. Good job. Bicep curl, shoulder press, do that tricep extension. Then you reverse it. Nope. Bicep curl is totally up to you. If you want to do a reverse curl, regular, neutral grip, totally up to you. Great question. Shoulder blades stay back and down. Keep those strong. Lunges. Weighted or unweighted. Keep that glute on of that front leg. Knee stays in line with that toe. Don't let that torso collapse. Arch of that foot stays strong. Good job. Curl, press, extend. Good job. Stay braced. Lunges. Feel free to finish wherever you're at in that last rep. And we're into those lunges. Keep that glute on. Weights even on that front leg. Arch that foot strong. Curl, press, extend. Stay braced, especially whenever you go overhead. Make sure those scapula are squeezed together and down. Lunges. Finish wherever you're at down. Always try to get as much of that full range of motion, that full stretch, that full contraction on each movement. Curl, press, extend. Job. Stay braced. Get that full tricep stretch. That full bicep stretch. Lunges. Last one, y'all. Doesn't matter what that tempo or that speed is. Keep that quality. That glutes on. Knee in line with that toe. Stay braced. Take a break. One minute. Feel free to keep that little bit of movement. And with those burpees, not burpees, high knees. Remember, it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Confused myself earlier with the odd even. It's like, that doesn't seem right. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay. Ratio, I said it. So we'll do 6 and lower. And however many of those burpees you want. 10 seconds into those controlled rolls. 3, 2, 1. High knees into those burpees. You can add a jump or a push-up on those burpees, but you don't have to. Be soft on those knees. Controlled rolls. Quick transitions here. Stay braced. Don't round that low back at the top position. Remember, if you're in that regular, don't let that low back pop out. High knees to burpees. Soft on those knees. Keep the weight on those hands. Rolls. Woo! Let's go, y'all. As you get tired, if you need, you can grab onto those legs. Stay braced. High knees, burpees. You got this. Find your own tempo. Doesn't matter what mine is, what your neighbor's is. Soft on those knees. Rolls. We're down. Almost there, y'all. Don't lose that pelvic floor. Nice job. High knees, burpees. Last one, let's go. Last one, best one, I like it. Whatever your tempo is, keep it. Rolls. Woo. Let's go, y'all. "15 seconds. You got it. You got it. Stay with it. Take a break. My peeps at home. Nice work today. My peeps in person. Nice work, guys. Nice job. Yep, just 3 today. Oh, nice job. Yeah. Nice job, Yos. Nice job, Matthew. Nice job, Muhammad. Nice job, Gretchen. As you're cleaning up, starting to slow that breathing down as much as you can. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you're cleaning up, if you notice any black streaks on the ground, all of this. If this is ever locked, you can pull this little thing down. Gotta pop it in a little bit. Oh, it was already unlocked. Just shut. Shows what I know. Once you're ready, we're going to start with those deeper breaths. Inhaling in through the nose on the way up. Exhaling out through the mouth on the way down. Remember, don't have to match my tempo. Don't have to match your neighbors. Let your breath guide you and how quick you need those breaths. On that next exhale, go and pull that arm across. Through all these stretches, we're going to keep that slight braced posture, keeping those same breaths, stretching a little further on each exhale. When you're ready, go and release and switch. Hi. Yeah, it's true. When the heater was on, that was rough. That was hot. When you're ready, go and release. Pull that first arm behind, grab that elbow, stretching that tricep. You put that back hand in between those scapula. And switch. If you ever find yourself collapsing in this one, be sure to pull the shoulder blade back and down, stand up tall. When you're ready, go and release. We're going to bring those hands behind the back, interlock those fingers, shoulder blades back and down, open up that chest. We're going to roll that head and neck. Find a spot that's particularly tight. Feel free to keep it there. Breathe through that stretch. When you're ready, go and release. Inhale up and in. On that exhale, bring it down into that full floor squat, pushing those hips back and down. Trying to work on getting those heels flat on the ground as much as possible. You can always switch up the width of the feet. If you can't quite get those heels down, that's all right. Kind of keep that weight forward a little bit and kind of work yourself a little bit deeper into that stretch over time. Once those heels are down, if you want more inner thigh stretch, elbows the inside of the knees, palms together, go and press those palms down, opening up those hips. It down onto the mat. We're going to go into a puppy pose, keeping the hips above the knees. We're going to extend the arms out in front, dropping that chest down into the floor. Allowing that back to relax. The shoulders release. If you want a little bit more tricep lat stretch, you can bring those hands behind the head if you want. When you're ready, slowly go and bring yourself up out of that stretch. We're going to widen those knees so the edges are outside of the mat. Bring those feet together. Sit the hips onto the heels and down into that full child's pose. Here, we're going to walk those hands over to the left, stretching that right side body. stretching that left side. And release it back to the center, bring yourself up out of that stretch. Moving into a plank. We're gonna go ahead and inhale that right ankle up. On that exhale, we're gonna drive that knee through and underneath for that pigeon stretch. Bringing that front foot across. The further up you bring that foot, the more it's gonna move that stretch into the hip. As you release into that stretch, you can slowly bring yourself deeper into that stretch. Remembering to keep the hips squared. We don't want to collapse and roll over to the side. Keep that weight centered. And breathe. Remember, make every third or fourth inhale a little bit deeper. Kind of helps us show us where we're holding that tightness. And then exhale that tightness out of the body. As you're ready, slowly bring yourself back up out of that stretch, stepping back into plank. Inhaling that left foot up and in, or up and above, and then exhaling that knee through. Bringing that foot across the torso, extending that back leg back. And as your body releases, you can lower yourself deeper into that stretch. Keep those hips squared. Breathe. Every third or fourth inhale a bit deeper. Find where that tension is you're holding. Exhale it out. As you're ready, bring yourself out of that stretch. Go ahead and just roll over onto the glute. And bring those legs out in front. We're going to take that right ankle, bring it back behind by the glute. If you're bending that right knee, you're leaning back onto that left elbow. Working this slowly over time, getting closer to be able to lay down on your back. Stretching through that quad. As that muscle releases, you can move that arm back, bring yourself lower into that stretch if it feels good. Remember to breathe. As you're ready, go and slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch. Kick that ankle forward, bringing that left ankle back to that left glute, leaning back onto that right elbow, stretching that quad on the opposite side. You can bring that leg forward and slowly go and make yourself back to standing. These stretches aren't exhaustive, so if you want to stay and continue to stretch, feel free. We're just running out of time. So we're going to finish with those last 3 breaths. These last breaths is a thank you to yourself for showing up today, fitting in the time to your schedule to get a bit of movement, a little bit of self-care. Nice job today, everybody. Great work. As always, don't forget your homework. Get a good solid dinner, drink lots of water, and shooting for at least, if you're new, shooting for at least 6 hours of sleep. If you've been here a while, you're shooting for at least 7. If you're with us online, thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button if you want to be updated when classes go live. And with that, have a nice night, and we'll see you on Thursday. If you're looking for a class to supplement with this, Yoga is a great one for that recovery. It's on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. Go ahead and check that out. Thanks for being here. Have a nice night.